Hello everyone and welcome to the part 3 of playthrough of New Order, the 7th map of the Forged in Fire campaign. In this part I'll be finishing the map, and it means that I'll kill remaining brown guards so that I can get the purple tent, and then I need to collect remaining resources that I need to access the last boss and fight and win against it. Resources are, just as a reminder, I need 125 of mercury, sulfur and ore, and sulfur is gonna be the biggest problem because for some time I neglected sulfur warehouses and mines, and it's gonna trail a little bit, but it's not too big of a problem. Also, this rather slow, I would say, or maybe measured pace of this remaining part of the map allows me to boost stats on all of my heroes that will be passing to the next map, and that's very good. There is one hero that unfortunately I did not develop because she joined me too late. But if I didn't forget about her, I actually could join her a little bit sooner. She can join you as soon as you get the purple Keymaster tent. Unfortunately, I just completely forgot about it, and so she will come to the next map unleveled, or rather not without improved stats, like Balindar and Khevasar, my two new buddies here. Okay. Also, I will obviously be dealing with some invaders before I finish the map, but some of the nastier ones will be left out if I just rush the map, obviously, right? And even at my current pace, I actually finished the map about almost 2 months before the time limit. And I wanted to fight them all, so after finishing the map, the last boss is roughly 2 hours in this video. Maybe 1 hour and 45 minutes, I'll put the timestamp. I included most remaining invaders, with exception for the last wave, that is intended to be unkillable. And I'll show you a way to deal with one of its bosses, the Armorer, but it's not a healthy thing to do. And I also didn't do that. Just so you know, the map is intended to be finished before the last wave is out, and that's about month 5, week 4. Anyway, so let's fight against a second brown guardian. Honestly, I don't remember anything about guardians, to be fair. Looks like a pretty generic fight at this point. Shouldn't be a problem. As usual, just reduce the number of engineers. Actually, clone seems like it might be a decent... Okay, she actually has some... Maybe she has implosion, now that I think about it. Maybe I do recall something. I think she might have implosion and has a habit of wrecking halflings with it. If that's the case, anti-magic is not a bad choice, especially because it's Henrietta, and halfling stack is actually really strong. That's a nasty implo. Okay, but now 3 engineers is a perfect hypnotize target. And I think like just next shot with halflings should be at Juggernauts, and maybe like using a clone also makes sense. Summoning a clone to hit Dreadnoughts with a second halfling stack. Oh, actually, yeah, forgot about the hypnotize. Sure. So it seems like she will be able to hit me. Somewhat, at least with magic. Yeah, that's a nasty implosion. Over 1,000 halflings dead. Okay, next up is gonna be a third brown guard hero, and that should be when I had to get a purple keymaster tent, and just another step in my progression. That hero is, by the way, the light blue, the teal hero. In the middle is last boss. Funny enough, you actually don't want to bring an army against him. Like a small hint, if you bring like your entire army against this hero, you're probably losing instantly. And if you don't bring a big army, then you win kind of pretty easy. Pretty cool interaction. Okay, I used 2 coatls to block the wolf raiders, and also I destroyed the ballista. I think this enemy has Arena of Oblivion or something like that, so you kinda... yeah, I think he does. No, he doesn't have Arena of Oblivion. He does have something, I'm not sure actually what he does have. Let's see, maybe he has a Cloak of... yeah, Recanter's Cloak. So he basically denies you Resurrection. That's why I didn't mind sacrificing a couple of Coatls just to negate him, maybe like extra hit. There is an attack boost here that's worth taking before I head out, that's why I sent both heroes here. Looks like I'm already assembling a stack of angels to soon trade them for town portal. For my main heroes, I decided to give town portal to Henrietta and Wynona, which I think there are alternatives for sure. But I figured that my two other heroes, like Balindar and Khevasar, are a bit too niche. Although Khevasar is actually a really good one to develop, and I was considering maybe giving town portal to him instead of Henrietta. Henrietta falls off a little bit. Because she doesn't have water, she doesn't have air magic. Basically, she's limited only to like slow force field, maybe quicksand, or resurrection, obviously. So she can't really use like prayer or haste to get a tempo. She can't cast air shield, she can't cast bless, at least expert. So she has a lot of shortcomings. She can't cast forgetfulness, but she has tactics. That's her biggest upside in my roster. So I figured that she was doing fine for the most part for me, even with all those shortcomings. She carried my early game in map 7, as you could see. She did her part in map 6 pretty well as well. Even though she even didn't have slow back then for the most part. So she can do fine, but also she has higher stats than the two new heroes. So I figured that even if, let's say, I'll need Khevasar occasionally a little bit more than Henrietta, Henrietta can be used as a let's say, like a reinforcement, logistics hero. So the town portal is not necessarily the best fit for your main hero. Sometimes you can move your hero with a retreat, like a poor man's town portal. Sometimes you can just move it by foot and chain army or something like that, and hero with town portal could be like a valuable addition still. So yeah, this fight is kind of pretty cool in a way that we are trying to reduce losses and we don't have any control against these dragons. So I did try to create this left top corner so that it doesn't look appealing for dragons to hit. Like, I exposed genies for this full-on attack, but they'll switch to coatls now. And now I need to... okay, I actually messed up here. Yeah, I should have resurrected a different coatl there. Now this dragon will be hitting the one coatl, unfortunately, and breathing into my main stack. Kind of a little bit of a problem, and also a fear. That's annoying. I was hoping to move it out and resurrect a coatl under it. Actually, I don't know. I actually might have to restart it. I need like a couple, maybe 3 or even 4 turns to resurrect all genies. Basically, I try to limit the stacks that I'm taking losses that take losses, so that it would be easier for me to resurrect everything. And also, that's just 2 dragons left. If they hit anything but 1 stack, they will be dead, or probably most likely. So kind of 1 stack is very, very important there. Maybe I can move one of the ones away. Right, this way he actually won't be using breath attack. Right, okay, that's the way I actually thought I should be doing. And now there is no breath attack, so it's easier to resurrect everything. I can raise whatever, really. Okay, a bit of a sweaty fight, but yeah, no losses, so that's nice. I definitely messed up there with the way I put my quattles first, so I should have, as I said, put upgraded quattle, a big quattle stack under and resurrect the one above, and this way Azure dragons will be too scared to use breath attack, basically. She had a little bit too little mana, maybe, so she can't town portal, unfortunately. So ideally, if your heroes have town portal, you really want to have mana at least for 1 town portal. So I didn't, and basically I need to be looking for a way to restore her mana. There is a way, fortunately there is a magic sprint not far that I can use. Maybe there is also a magic well, I'm not sure. So about this artifact, I think I might be misunderstanding it, but I feel like Emblem of Cognizance in this map is supposed to be only available on lower difficulties. I think it allows you to exchange Berserk scroll for a spell in your spellbook for the Berserk spell, and therefore you can carry it into the next map. Oh, which is, if you can imagine, it's pretty good. But also I think it's like on easier difficulties, like Rook and below. Okay, we have 20 plus angels, that's perfect. Now basically our path is to the black portal that you... Oh, okay, there is actually a magic well close enough. Yeah, I actually confused the location she was at. I thought that she would be close to the black portal that you could see on the screen there. But that's... I mean, geographically she is close enough, but there is a water body and obstacles between. We will have to go some other way to the black portal. I think Balindar is heading to it now. There are a couple of points of interest, and I think I might bring some other heroes. Henrietta wants to go there as well. There is a small area for Henrietta to boost her stats quite nicely actually, and there is also a brown hero, and there is a, as I said, purple Keymaster tent as well, so I think Balindar and Khevasar should be going there primarily, but maybe others, I don't remember, maybe there is also like some stat boosts. I don't remember. I think there are no stat boosts for anyone other than Henrietta, so I don't think I should be bringing anyone else there. Like, I mean, Wynona, but looks like I still do bring her there. I think initially I thought that Henrietta will be fighting the brown hero there, and it turned out that this hero is really easy to deal with, and he gives kind of decent experience, so I figured that I will use Khevasar to fight him. Yeah, maybe you should take care of those sulfur warehouses at some point. Okay, that's an area for Henrietta, and that's an area with the purple Keymaster tent. Okay, that's annoying a little bit. Playing it on version 1.7.1 before the portal rework, rework is maybe too big a word, just a change in how portals work. Occasionally it takes a while to get to the right exit, and even though there are just like, I don't know, 3 exits in total and you're starting from 1, so that's kind of impressive how long it can take sometimes. This fight, you can imagine, is pretty easy. Also, the fact that Quaddles have an invulnerability, it gives me like a spellcast of my choice, basically, to open before I cast anti-magic. I just checked. Okay, so I need like 1 fairy dragon in a stack, ideally, to hypnotize it, so I will be using some magic to do that. Okay, that's a 2, unfortunately. So I'm trying to... Okay, actually I could maybe get this one. How much does it have? Oh, okay. Yeah, Chain Lightning would be killing too, and then I would be able to hypnotize if it wasn't resisted with the magic mirror. So it's a bit of a problem, as you can see. No. Okay, maybe this one will. No. Okay, that's basically. So wait, and okay, that's one last try basically. And as you can imagine, it succeeded. Otherwise I would be replaying it and you could have guessed it. Okay, a small experience boost for Balindar. At this point I actually already could have freed, I think. Actually, I don't remember. I thought that I could have freed the last hero when I got the purple Keymaster tent. But there is also a quest guard of some sort, which I noticed a few minutes ago, but I don't remember what it is. It could be just like allow green player in, something like that. Something to make sure that like a random invader doesn't enter this area before you, if they somehow get access to the purple Keymaster tent, something like that. So it could be just like a safeguard against an overly active AI. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm setting Wynona up for this fight, and I will change my mind there. Although maybe I already changed it. Don't remember, to be honest. I do remember that I changed my mind at some point. But I wonder if I was actually really intending to fight him with like 60 mana that she has. You don't need a lot of mana for this hero, to be fair. So she has probably more than enough, and will still have like enough for Town Portal, although there is a magic sprint behind this hero. Don't really have to leave anything. Okay, I have to double check the... Okay, there are 4 entrances, but dude... Okay, that's gonna be my army. Generally, like, one thing that I took away from playing, I mean, a decent number of maps, I think it's very common that if you take like all 7 stacks of your big army against an enemy, it often makes this enemy actually more difficult to deal with than if you like brought much fewer. In this case, as you can see, I brought like, basically nothing. And my idea was initially to shelter between obstacles, like close, maybe using a couple of force fields. There are a couple of setups, but probably I would have to cast force field every turn, to be fair, and also I would be losing the ammo card. But it turned out actually that enemy is way more keen on attacking my worms than anything else. So I mean, worms are kind of pretty strong unit, you can't deny that. One thing to take care of is that his summons could be reaching your worms if you do not put worms carefully, like far enough from the right side. Basically, as you can see, it's all about damage versus summon race. So you basically want to be killing summons, you want to be killing his units in parallel, just trying to keep him in check. And he has Arena of Oblivion, okay, so also something I didn't say because I forgot, but yeah, that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. Brute forcing him is a little bit of a problem. Also, as you can see, I equipped for interference. He has a very high spell power, and I equipped to get him summon smaller elemental stacks. Probably in 1 or 2 turns actually already they're going after me, but it's too late. Yeah, I wasn't sure if worms would be killing 80 satyrs. It was a little bit of a careful move there, but turns out that they would be killing. I could afford being a little bit extra careful there. And there we go. A rather long and boring fight this way, but I mean, if you try to fight him, like bringing all your army, it's gonna be like messy and bloody, and you would not like it. Okay, I brought actually Wynona here to get this Pandora. It gives her a nice stat boost. And I actually intend to skip the magic sprint with her. Balindar, I think. Okay, I actually moved him here. Interesting. I thought that I would double Balindar's mana there. Maybe I saved it. Maybe I actually will double it for Wynona. I did replay this part after a fight against this Eleshar fella. So I might be confusing like different attempts. In one attempt I did take with doubled mana for Balindar, in one for Wynona, maybe like in two even. So I did get it confused. I think I'm moving Henrietta. Okay, basically everyone. And I want to do most active fighting with Khevasar and Balindar now, so that they can actually get like developed a little bit. And the fights ahead are really simple. That's dragons, that's basically some force field. Very, very basic fights, and that's a lot of experience as well, so that's a very good opportunity to load them with fighting while my main heroes can actually go about boosting their stats. Okay, Balindar also needs the force field. Didn't learn it yet. Forgot to bring a couple of once at first, I thought, but actually against these fellas you can do something like this, and actually should do, because ammo card is required. Now prayer probably, or even actually maybe don't have to cast prayer because of equal speed. That's a big experience boost. Didn't ever bother to pick up green boots there for my heroes. I guess that's what is it? Privilege of having pathfinding. Oopsie daisy. I miss. Okay, didn't double check the quest requirements. Forgot to pick up the cart of wood, and the cart of ore actually requires me to hand in the gladius as well. So that's kind of a nasty, undesirable, let's say, price to pay. Basically, for the most part, my heroes are visiting boosts that they did not visit before that. There are like 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 4 boosts for each stat on the map. Kinda in that sense, it's pretty standard for this campaign. Like every map has like just a few stat boosts. It's actually pretty good in that way. It's not very like by the time map 8 comes, my heroes are not that like busted, overpowered. So that's always, I think, a very difficult thing to achieve in a long campaign. Henrietta is basically doing nothing. Apparently she visited everything already, if I had to guess. Other than that, I don't see why she would be doing what she does. I think like a next wave of attackers maybe pretty soon. There you are, guys, new invaders coming in. Hello there. It might be the last wave of invaders. I get to actually fight before ending the map. Maybe there is one more, but not 100% sure on that. Invaders are, for the most part, like 2 weeks apart, plus give or take a few days, but should be finishing the map like within 2 weeks already, so under 2 weeks. Checking my notes on which stat boosts Caronius still have unvisited, and basically I think most stat boosts are already visited, so I should, well, I mean, I will fight these guys first and then send Wynona and Henrietta to trade for Town Portal, and then go for the final boss. Still need like 36 sulfur. Still not ready in terms of sulfur, but should be soon. Also, I will assemble the cornucopia as well, so I got a wooden cart now, and I will probably trade my, well, probably I will trade Gladius for an ore cart to assemble the cornucopia. Will help me get the sulfur missing. Okay, it's Zubin. I actually made some notes about this invader. So he has a pendant of total recall, so you can't use forgetfulness on this fella. He has a golden bow, which is very helpful from him to bring it to me. I wish he came earlier. And also he has a haste, so that's basically his, at least, noteworthy things. Looks like I should be dealing with him like just using brute force for the most part. Actually, maybe I misplaced my worms there. Okay, actually do replay it. Actually, I forgot to edit this part out. Okay. But I guess you could see that I could have placed worms to the left side. This way I would be able to hit Minotaurs with all 3 melee stacks. That's probably why I am replaying it, if I had to guess now. Oh my goodness, that's a perfect hypnotize now. I think removing retaliation would make sense. Or maybe just pull everything back, also an option. Unupgraded ogres will not reach my back ranks with haste, so... Oh my goodness. Henrietta is doing some great job there. Okay, maybe block it even. Yeah, that was actually a pretty nice move. Well, both of the ogres did not reach me, even with haste. That's perfect. And a nice body block with Coatls and hypnotized Minotaurs. And he brings a golden bow to me. Thank you very much. Although, as you can see, it's still an enemy that you can perfectly deal with just by pure brute force. These enemies are gonna end, so at some point they'll be getting tougher and tougher, and you'd have to resort to some trickery to deal with them. And obviously, even with these ones, you might have to use some tricks. I had a decent, pretty good tempo. I built up my towns pretty fast, so naturally, if you do it a little bit slower, you might have a smaller army. It might seem a bit more difficult. Gave back the gloves to Wynona. Before that, I traded my gloves and boots around. I think I gave them to Khevasar and Balindar. And I did it primarily because they had a lot of stat boosts unvisited compared to Wynona and Henrietta. And also I was intending to fight a lot with them, right? Like with fight many dragons, etc. And that's why I gave boots to them. Now I think I passed items back because they did most of the things by now. And Wynona and Henrietta still has a few boosts to do. Mostly, I think it's quest seers. They do require some, like for example, I think this one, well, I don't remember actually. This one that is next to Balindar is definitely gives stats, and there are like I think 3 more. Like one asks for a Diplomat set. Then one more asks for 250 gems. As you can see, I actually can get it now. And I don't remember what others... Maybe there is one more. Okay, this fell actually. Yeah, that's day 1, obviously. Gotta go back and get that Mercury. Elderian, that's another invader. He has a teleport, that's the only notable thing I actually wrote down. So he might be a problem if he decides to teleport next to halflings, for example. Actually, every fight I am actually taking damage from the Factory Grail. And as you can see, I actually resplit my Quattles there because at this point already Factory Grail deals more than 200 damage, so my Quattles do not one stacks do not survive it. So blocked against teleport. Obviously not that concerned about him teleporting engineers or bounty hunters. Dreadnoughts are actually very poorly placed. I can block them from top and they will be stuck, so we'll have to go around some obstacles. I think, well, I should be hypnotizing engineers, right? Probably, before they repair anything, so perhaps it's fine to kill automatons. If I did not kill them, maybe it would be not a great... If I did not hypnotize engineers, maybe killing automatons would not be that great, because he would just repair a few, so kind of it doesn't really make sense in terms of reducing number of stacks he has. Oh, that's a great cast. Imagine they also hit morale, that would be hilarious. Okay, that's actually not that high damage as... Yeah, that's Curse, of course. Curse wrecked their damage. Now, imagine that he teleports Dreadnoughts next to Halfling clones and then beams up. That would be hilarious, right? I mean, we could have a laugh and then I would have to replay it. Maybe he would do that, I don't know. Unfortunately, we'll never know. Okay, Wynona got level 36. I think she's gonna be the only one that gets it. I think Henrietta will stop at level 35. And other two guys somewhere like 32 maybe, 33. Coronius has no town portal but has army. I guess maybe he's there to just stash the army for Henrietta before next turn. And then he'll pass everything to her. And I think she's going for another stat boost quest, so... It's a little bit weird. So I guess I'm planning to bring someone to that town to pass army to Coronius. Actually confusing myself there. I guess I do. I plan to bring Wynona perhaps. And she will have to follow Henrietta, so she actually doesn't do anything that she wouldn't be doing otherwise. Yes, okay, it makes sense then. This fella really doesn't want to come to me, does he? Let me check my notes on him. That's Darkstorn. He has a pendant of free will, so I can't hypnotize him. That's one complication. And he has Chain Lightning plus some smaller spells, damage spells. And also wrote down that he has Prayer, which... curious enough. So I may actually equip finally a Pendant of Negation here. And I'm gonna be using Berserk, as you can imagine. He has immunity to Hypnotize, but not to Berserk, and Khevasar also actually is an expert in fire magic. A really nice battlefield. Minotaurs will be forced to go towards worms, basically, so I want to hypnotize this. Okay, that's not great. Okay. Well, actually, not great. Basically need to deal with the two forward stacks now, and I will be berserking worms and minotaurs. And also this Quaddle is very important. He's gonna activate next turn, and it will force beholders to actually enter the same berserk area, basically. A very nice battlefield. You really see how easy it is to abuse against AI. So ideally I would want to keep beholders alive and everything else dead. Especially Minotaurs, because of their positive morale. Okay, that's actually perfect. Now I can cast Forgetfulness and the rest is pretty easy. To be fair, I think Wynona or Henrietta wouldn't have too much trouble dealing with him. Just simply because of their stats. He had problems because of his low attack, so he didn't really deal a lot of damage to Darkstorn's units. and Wynona would deal damage, a lot damage. I don't think I would have trouble dealing with Minotaurs and Worms by my other two heroes. But there we go, some level up for Buddy Khevasar. So dealt with this wave of invaders. I think like most of my stat boosts is now covered. So I might send my main heroes to get Town Portal finally. Or at least like in a couple of days maybe. Forgot to take angels with Wynona. Silly. I didn't bother replaying it, just kinda went with it. But she will have to come back and then do it again. As you can see, I didn't really bother with a lot of logistical improvements. For example, I just moved my secondary hero, Torosar, and then I had to basically chase after it with my Henrietta, main hero, so that's pretty stupid if you think about it. Many small inaccuracies and even not so small. I guess one last boost is left for most of my heroes, and that's Tree of Knowledge. It would be funny if she exhausted her mana completely to do that. Finally got all resources. Wynona will head to fight the final boss now, and everyone else just rushes to the Tree of Knowledge. Okay, I would have to give these 2 artifacts away before that. Okay, maybe I actually... It would be quite a price to pay to release this hero earlier. And maybe not so happy to do that. Could probably finish the map with this new hero. She would be perfectly capable to kill the last boss. But I think some of my heroes did not reach the Tree of Knowledge yet. Yeah, this fella. And this last boss is basically, if you want, you can try. Like, if you bring your full army, he's gonna delete you instantly. He has first turn because of a bunch of speed artifacts, and he's a super high level automaton explosion specialist, so he will attack your units, you retaliate, and explosion will kill basically everything. So the idea is basically not to be able to kill everything right away. That's it. And when he has targets to hit, he will be hitting them, even if it puts his units poorly. So as you can see, you can just use magic to kill everything. slightly messed up here, but it's not a problem. There we go. So that's the last boss. Now, as I promised, I will show you the further invaders. There are quite a few I skipped this way. I think it should be like 4 more waves. At least you could say 3 more waves plus the last wave that is not killable. And that's Jabarkas. What does he have? He has a pendant of total recall and haste. So nothing too crazy really, just a relatively big army and decent stats. But normally when enemy has some spells, relatively useless spells, honestly, like Counter-Strike here, sometimes Air Shield could be considered useless. Like if you cast Haste, I would probably not be very happy. So I may have to then just ram into him turn 1, like without waiting. And that would be bloody, but maybe still doable. Not, maybe it's fine. But obviously Counter-Strike is is way better for me. Now I can basically chain 2 turns into him. I could cast haste or slow. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I have lots of speed. My halflings even take a turn before anything in his army, so I can actually do whatever. Yeah, he has no immunity to berserk or hypnotize, so he can do whatever, really. Hypnotize though, I mean, berserk is unfortunately not gonna work here because both of his remaining units are shooters and he has forgetfulness immunity. It would not be pleasant. I'm gonna be a little bit stupid here. I think what I wanna do here, at first at least, is to slow and then berserk and then also forgetfulness, but I forgot that he has forgetfulness immunity. And I mean, 3 spellcasts, kind of pretty hard to squeeze into a single sequence when he casts haste instantly, right? Kind of annoying. But maybe at some point I will actually... Okay, I actually tried forgetfulness and now I should Basically what I should do is grind him down to 30 or hypnotize, and that's gonna be it. Yeah, I should have done it before that. Check the next one. Okay, actually I don't know which one will be next. We'll see. This wave is not yet particularly impressive, I think. Although at least one of the heroes is Deemer. Maybe looks okay. Okay, just last count of stacks. Looks good. Sometimes one of your units could be blocking the body, and sometimes you can miss one, so counting doesn't hurt. So I will be using berserk against this fella. That's Deemer, level 500 this time, so his meteor shower should be hitting pretty hard. He has hypnotize immunity, he has anti-magic, and I remember this fight actually, it was pretty hilarious. So yeah, so I did sacrifice a bunch of units there to get this fat berserk. Unfortunately, he still has one unit that is immune to berserk, and he has anti-magic annoyingly. But at least all other units should be dead because they take the turn before he can apply anti-magic. Scorpicors are being annoying, and Minotaurs look to be winning this fight very convincingly. Okay, that's annoying. I'll have to activate, I think. Oh, yeah, okay, that's actually perfect, right. Forgot about this. So both two other units would be reaching in this corner, but Minotaurs did not, and Force Field actually forced Minotaurs to come to me while others stayed in place, so that was really nice. And now I'll be just using Dispel to force him to recast anti-magic, basically. I do not want to be using Berserk just yet, because it'll basically only work on Minotaurs. After Minotaurs, Dreadnought will take the turn and he'll apply anti-magic on Manticores, so it's gonna be kind of lots of mana for nothing, basically. Okay, down his mana. Now, basically, my goal is to have Berserk actually hit the Dreadnought. Not like... it would be pretty bad if my both Berserk units would be hitting each other, not the Dreadnoughts, so... some positioning. So I see like I could move... okay, I had an option to Berserk there, nicely. Maybe I will do it now. Dreadnoughts move before Minotaurs, so something like this works perfectly. Basically need to find some setup where Minotaur will hit the Dreadnought, and then Dreadnought move closer to Manticores, and then Manticores will hit it. So something like this works out pretty well. Maybe something like this, I don't know. Maybe it works if I move down. It was risky though. Maybe I should have moved Coatls to the right side so that maybe Dreadnoughts would be hugging around Manticores to be safer a little bit. Yeah, this one might be as well, actually. I could move to the bottom left corner, and this way Dreadnought should be closer to Manticores. Okay, now basically all I need to do is to deal with Manticores. Okay, a bit unfortunate luck there. You get the idea. If you wanted to save one Coatl, you could replay it. It's not a problem, even like I wouldn't bother saving, and I think I didn't really. Okay, so that's gonna be Wrathmont, and the only thing I had written for him is that he has Berserk. And because it's Wrathmont, it probably also has Frenzy. But frankly, like just now thinking about it, it doesn't sound all that scary, to be honest. Yeah, it looks like I will be using Force Field here. Just brought some decoys for the most part. And bringing one unit against Berserk is perfect because AI doesn't cast Berserk when it's just one unit. Although you don't have to, so you could bring more, but like it then comes down to positioning. So yeah, I think I want to keep one just low enough for hypnotize later. Probably gonna be using lightning bolt, or yeah, probably a lightning bolt against armadillo. So I could also be kiting them. I don't think he has like something like haste, so I could just destroy juggernauts and worms and then slow him and then just kite him and use magic arrow to kill armadillos, to bring them low enough for hypnotize. Kind of magic arrow with for 2 mana. Kind of looks like way too efficient. Yeah, looks like I will be doing just that. Okay, that's the next wave. That's actually this hero, even though it looks like Saurug, that's Giselle, max interference. She has, or he has immunity to hypnotize, and he has teleport. Kind of pretty annoying. But he or she is not immune to berserk, and the berserk is not affected by interference, so basically I'm gonna be banking on him killing himself here. And Quattl actually was placed there to bait them all. I mean, like, just kill wolf riders and everything is within berserk. One last stack could be berserk and kite. Yeah, you can most likely kite it, like using teleport or other means if necessary. I mean, I think you could just shoot at ogres and then... Okay. That's also an option. I think I did overcomplicate it a little bit for myself. That's actually a decent use for a berserk again. And now, after slow, he's basically cooked, although I think my spell power duration is like 3 turns maybe, because of Varine. So I don't really last for long, but like 3 turns was enough. Okay, that one is okay. That's gonna be Malekith, I think. Yeah, this one is way tougher. This fella is level 10,000, and his spells basically destroy everything. He has implosion, whereas lightning bolts, prayer, and teleport. Basically, anti-magic is the only counter you can get, and obviously immunity of collaterals. And the only stack that is a problem is Minotaurs, because force field and one tile, that's the only one tile creature. And now I will bait. Okay, I actually did not bait him. Interesting. Maybe I'm confusing it with some other fight. Ah yeah, there is no point baiting, he has a teleport, right. So I brought 7 stacks here, just to give myself a bit more survivability to survive this hit from Minotaurs. Maybe if I had a little bit more halflings, I didn't have to, I could have maybe rolled like a morale on them or something. I'm gonna keep automatons alive, because they have no retaliation. Yeah, I will just actually even grind them down a little bit. Yeah, I think I can do that. He's gonna kill my 7 stack. So I'm actually... I will have to take hits with halflings here. Yeah, he has a teleport. Well, at least if I do continue moving away with halflings, he should be casting teleport. And that's gonna be my plan here. Although, yeah, that's not... Could be applying anti-magic there. Just wait, resurrect, anti-magic. Wait, resurrect, anti-magic. I didn't bother saving the 6. Could probably do that if I really wanted to. But as you could see, I wasn't really on point with my decisions before that. Now this one is pretty much... he has maxed out interference. Like, as you can see, my spell power is 5. Has blind, teleport and cure. And that's, once again, looks like a force field fight. Probably okay, he has actually a teleport, so he's gonna teleport these engineers next to my Quattles next. He's gonna blind halflings next, but that's totally not a problem. Or even he might not be. Actually, I keep forgetting about this feature of AI. I really likes casting spells on units that did not move yet. So I probably waited with Quattles this turn. That's why he casted. And if I defended with them, he actually wouldn't blind them. Kind of an interesting detail. No anti-magic because I won't be shooting with halflings now. And that's easy enough. And that's second to last wave. It's consists of 2 logistics specialists and Agar. That's Dessa. So he has forgetfulness immunity, golden bow, cure, dispel, teleport. Yeah, I remember it was kind of pretty annoying fight. As you can see, a bunch of shooters. And I'm banking here for berserk. I wanted to funnel all shooters into this small area where I cast berserk. Like this. And basically, well, they are not entirely in the same area. So I will have to kill one of the Cyclops myself. Also, the ogres did not move yet. And he cast Cure, so I did bring this 1 stack to keep ogres inside this area. And now enchanters will actually kill the 49 stack of Cyclops very kindly. I could maybe hit Cyclops with Quattles as well, but didn't have to. Now that's part 1. Part 2 is a bit annoying because now shooters will deal with the 2 melee stacks. Ideally you want to have a melee stack alive after all of that. That you can slow and then kite. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen here, unfortunately. So I think I don't remember, honestly. Did I lose anything actually? Okay, actually birds Actually, I should be winning now. I can hit birds with coatls now as well, because the enchanters removed retaliation, and I should be winning next turn. Okay, I didn't do that. Actually thought that I might have to resurrect something, but I actually did not lose anything. That was a nasty berserk. Okay, that's another logistic enemy. He has a Ring of Oblivion and Implosion, so kind of a nasty dude. Has a Cure as well, Anti-Magic, no, Forgetfulness Immunity. So here the idea is actually to use a Force Field, and he has Minotaurs. That's a little bit of a problem, as you can imagine. And so I will be actually delaying Minotaurs a little bit, like this, and then the last Coatl will also serve as a bait, as a delay. And I applied anti-magic on both of my valuable units by now. The bait in the right bottom corner basically bought me maybe 2 more turns, because I used 2 baits there. Could be even more actually. And after that we have just one last enemy that we are supposed to be beating in this map. So I think this fight is like month 5, week 2, something like this. And the final wave is released on month 5, week 4, something like that. And better if you finish the map before that. But let's see last hero of penultimate wave. So it's Agar, he has berserk immunity, he has Armageddon, anti-magic, blind, haste, implosion. Lots of annoying things, but basically he's vulnerable to the same force field idea. I brought archmages and Pegasi to get an edge with mana. Also, I'm short on ammo, that's why I'm not really shooting a lot. I want to drain his mana a little bit first. He cast Air Shield, I think. That's kind of a little bit of a problem for me. Also, I think I equipped an interference chest and maybe even a couple, one or two other interference side effects. As you can see, his spell powers slightly reduced. That's just to help me win this spell points battle, basically. When he runs out of mana, I can start using Frenzy, and also, as you can see, my anti-magic just about to run out. When he's out of mana, I can apply some basic buffs like Bless, Precision, and start using Frenzy to kill his units. And it should be either very close to enough or just enough. So you'll see. I think it's worth to talk about the last wave a little bit while we're waiting this fight to finish. So the next wave, as I said, comes in after 2 more weeks after this one, and it is supposed to be unkillable. Every hero has all mind immunities, very high stats, like around 60. All of them are strong, high-level specialists. Like one of them, I think, is an offense specialist, like level 10,000. Basically, kills everything with anything in melee. Another is an armorer of high level, and armor doesn't have to be like ridiculously high level, like 10,000 to be invulnerable, basically. So, and this one is invulnerable. You can't deal any damage with melee or ranged attacks. And I don't remember the third one, but possibly some sorcery specialist or something. Don't quite remember, but basically the map's intent is to force players to finish this map before this final wave is launched. But I think you can try running around them while you work on your objectives, so if you are a little bit late, I can see you being able to kind of play cat and mouse game with them and maybe finish your objectives. I wouldn't say that they are, and they are not in fact completely unkillable, but the way to kill them is either through suffering or like a lot of luck. I'll show you just one of the fights against Armorer, and this one is purely skill and suffering based, no luck involved in that one. Yeah, but the fact that it involves a lot of suffering is kind of a huge turn off for me personally. That's why I didn't really commit to doing that all the way. And other two are less about suffering and more about getting a lot of luck, such as, for example, rolling Frenzy on genies on demand, getting luck and morale on frenzied couplings, most likely to deal with enemy shooters and possibly like multiple turns in a row. There is a way though to trick the game into, or map, into not fighting those 3 enemies, the final wave. And I won't explain like how you do that, it's kind of a little bit of a cheese, but I'll give you just a hint. There are only 3 invaders that can be present on a map. So if you can basically have 3 starting invaders on this map for all time. But let's talk about this fine lady. That's one of the final enemies. She's unbeatable basically, but I'll show you how you actually can beat her. And I hope you'll appreciate how stupid it is. So my army doesn't look very impressive. I'm using Balindar to deal with her because of the mana, I think. Maybe he has something I don't quite recall. So she has Cure, Dispel and Teleport, as you can see. There is no way to hide from her, and any attack on these Juggernauts deal 1 damage. My plan here is to drain her mana first, because with her mana, she can teleport at any point and kill my units like she does here. And as you can see, she also has a Ring of Oblivion. And to drain her mana, I need to destroy her catapult. And it's very important to make her cast teleport every turn. Not have any units, at least for first 3 turns. To not have any units within walking distance from Juggernauts. That's because if she can reach something without teleport, she will basically just use Cure instead of teleport, and she will heal the catapult. That's very bad. And as you can see, she has a very high interference. My Balindar only has 6 spell power. And he had to cast 3 meteor showers to destroy the catapult, even though he has an earth orb. So, and the mana drain ends up looking like this. So if you can destroy catapult and shelter in a corner like this before catapult destroyed anything, and destroying catapult, as I said, is a bit tricky. Like, you have to be forcing her to cast teleport, as I said. And now she will, in lieu of better options, she will be casting Cure every turn to just heal this 3 damage from towers. So that's step number 1, draining her mana. Then you might think that I'm crazy and stupid, and you wouldn't be very wrong, because, well, we have to kill her somehow. Draining her mana is not really enough to beat her. She has almost 500 Juggernauts, and that's a crazy number. And dealing them like 1 damage per hit is not really impressive. And using magic, also, as you can see, we have 6 spell power. Not very impressive. Well, there is a way. And Armorer does not defend against 2 specific damage types. One of which is automaton detonation. But as you can see, I don't have automatons here. You probably won't get enough of them to really make any difference. I mean, it's month 6, she just took very long time to find a town so that I could fight her, but like, okay, month 6, and I captured the town with automatons relatively early, I think like beginning month 2. So you have 1 town, 1 dwelling to build a number of automatons, so that's 16 a week, 64 a month, and what, like you have maybe 300 at this point at best. I think that's very small damage. That's 5 juggernauts per explosion, so you would have to cast almost 100 clones. Not really feasible. Another option, that the option that I will be using here, and God save anyone who actually also tries doing it. I think it's pretty stupid, honestly. And that's a mold. Mold does deal an unmitigated damage, so the mold will be dealing 70 damage to these robots. And I'll only need to have them walk over this mold, and that's it. And obviously to have them walk over it, I need to make sure that she cannot teleport, right? Okay, so she's out of mana finally. Didn't take too long. Now we can probably slow, and the best way to make the mode work is use quicksand, because without quicksand robots are pretty fast and they will be able to go through the bridge for the most part, like much faster than through the mold, and you actually want them the mold to be the fastest way, so there should be some quicksands that block the most natural way. And don't worry, I actually am not gonna include this entire thing, and I had only enough patience to run this thing for like just over 1,000 rounds, after which I just cast Meteor Shower on my Coatl to save it from further suffering. Just had enough of it. But I'll cut it to some kind of further moment to show you like the actual execution. He's on a mode, by the way, already. I just need to be careful not to stand too close to the robots, because they can use a beam, right? So I need to move Coatls away now. And I'll be basically juggling from one side to another, and every turn they stand on a mode and take 70 damage. Okay, that's the stupidest idea, I think. Okay, I just fast forward it a little bit, and that's how it looks without towers. Towers took quite a bit of time, so I had to destroy them. This way it's way faster, but as you can see, it's still ridiculously long. It's now around 600, and I lasted for like, I don't know, 1300 maybe. And the total is expected to be over 2000. Something. A really painful thing to do, trust me. Okay, anyway, that is all to say that don't really try fighting these guys. They are meant to be unkillable by design of this map. So if you want to play it proper, you win before them. And if you want to be sneaky, tricky, and you want to have more time, there is a way to play with low-level invaders on the map without killing them. You can do that. But honestly, like, looking at map 8 after this one, that map 8 actually really does require you. I feel like I actually did not finish it yet. But it does require you to be fast, so better if you actually get used to doing things the right way by the time you reach it. And so, well, there we go. We end with map 7 here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.